Hi Krish. Hi Shane. Hi Jatin. Just trying to share the link. Okay, I've shared the link. I think you all can see my screen. Hi Shane. Hi Jatin. Hi Nation. Hi Funny. Hi Shrikant. Hi Rahul. Good evening. Hi Madhu. Good evening. Hi Nikhil. There's 1 second more. All right. So I'm good. You all can see my screen. Hi Raghu. Hi Sridhar. So let's start from some scans. Okay. So let's start with my favorite inside day scan. And again, I'm only looking into my watch list. I'm not looking anything outside of it. So let's do the scan. So the 22 items which are under inside day, I'm gonna sort them based on market cap. Again, I'm trying to speak a little low because my kids just slept. I just want to make sure that they do not come up. So Visa, Amgen, I think Amgen is doing really good at these levels. If we want to try, we can do Amgen. These are inside days. Caterpillar, I think, is breaking out. So if China, see, China has really, really good setup now with all this momentum, with all this trade war. One thing which has come out, that is China is strong. China is managing its economy in much better fashion as compared to anyone else, especially against America. Because America, we saw a lot of volatility. But China is trying to find more and more uh, partners outside America. Now, when it is doing that, it is going to increase its infrastructure. And that's why companies like Caterpillar, which is heavily in China, like for infrastructure needs, you need Caterpillar. So if China grows, Caterpillar has really good, I would say, options of expanding like from 300 to maybe 370, 75 very quickly. So just be careful on uh, Caterpillar going short. Same goes for Starbucks, same goes for Nike. So all these companies which have good presence in China and they uh, are somehow managing it maybe through Vietnam, maybe through somehow these companies are going to get very good momentum. So I'm positive on Caterpillar, I'm positive on Starbucks, and I'm also positive on Nike. Uh, from a fundamental point of view. Technical, we'll look into the levels, but from a fundamental point of view, yes, these companies will go stronger from here. Same goes for BA. Even if BA did not have any dependency on China anymore, but BA has such a huge order book that even if China's 500 planes are not there, the amount of air travel is increasing so much so that BA will have orders. They have a backlog of about 5,000 planes. So as I said in the last few days, BA from 170s to like before the earning from 150s to now almost 180s. The moment BA clear 180, we will have much more than. So again, coming back to the scan, I'm really looking forward to Caterpillar and Starbucks. Triple Ham has posted really good numbers, so positive on them. So keep an eye on these things. Let's do an inside week, and you see none of the tech stock is there. because they are struggling. MGen is inside day, inside week. So MGen is really good setup in my thought process. So keep an eye on this. I think it's really, really good for MGen to go higher from here, approximately 310, 320 very quickly. It has a bad breadth in terms of options. So you need to be careful when you're buying MGen options. I'm just putting my phone on charge. All right, let's move on to then some of the tickers. Let's start with the index, ES. So in the last few days, I've been very vocal about 5250, 5360, and then 5508. Now, I'll give you a few areas to remember. You see, the TTM squeeze is the first factor right now. Okay. TTM squeeze is showing you light sky blue color. So that is the first positive sign that yes, market is getting better. It may have small length, but it has a green tick and a sky blue color mark. So it is a positive sign. Last 2 days, we are getting lower average volume, like almost 10 days, but more of them is on the buying side. So this is the second factor. Third factor, this is the 12 EMA green line, and this is the 34 EMA, which is the red line. After a long cut since February, right? This is February. This is the first time we had a weekly close above 34 EMA, which is really positive. So this 5-5, uh, roughly I would say 5531 is a 34 EMA right now. 5131 is going to be a great support. If we lose it, then 5504. So if you are a person who likes to buy call, these are the levels too. Like 554 is your ultimate stop loss. You cannot stay long below this. So this is your stop loss. If it comes near 5531, that's your like first, like if you want to try long, that is your first area to add long. We are right now underneath it. So yes, you can add long. Second, I would say is around 5515. So if you are a future person, you need to add one lot here or second lot here. Or if you do only one lot, you can add one lot here. And then look out for 5600, 5675. 5600, 5675. That is my target for ES. And this may happen uh, because of the GDP data, because of anything possible. But we need to just clear this resistance of 5531, which is the 34 EMA. By morning, I don't know whether we are going to have this level breached or way above it or way down it. I don't know. But as of now, 5531 is my level where I will get a confirmation that yes, I dropped down, I reclaimed my 34 EMA, and I'm good to go. But if you are along, like Friday evening, I added Adobe's call. So I'm going to be watchful on Adobe's call if market is sustaining below 5504. That is your clear cut stop loss. Anything below 550, you need to exit longs because we have come up in a good rally from 51.98, 5150 all the way to 550. That's a 400 point rally. So be careful here. We are definitely setting up for a W, right? You can clearly see we are setting up for a W, but we need confirmation. That confirmation is 5531. Maybe add 8 or 10 points. Let's make it 5540, 5540. If we start to hold above this area, you can double down on your long positions. That's my take. And again, target is 5600, 5670. If we lose 5505, I think we will come back to test the 12 MA, which is 5428. So that is on the downside. So if you are like, if I make a scale, right, this is 5505. This is my stop loss. If I'm long or short, if 5531 comes, it gives me yes assurance. 5540 gives me a confirmation that yes, I can do double down and my targets are 5600 and 5675. This is on the bullish side. Now again, market can react very quickly. And one thing you also need to understand is if market is not going on a negative news, not going down on a negative news, it may hold and it may go up. If market is not going up on a positive news, it means it's going to hold and go down. That is very simple. Just keep that in mind. Now, if we start to lose 5504, or then we have to do a back test of 12 EMA, and that will be 5428. So that's about 1.5% on the downside, and here it's about 2% of the upside. So risk reward is around 5500. The moment it goes below 5500, just wait. If it tries to break down, make a fake breakdown and go up, because right now the momentum of the market is such that most of these trades are fake breakdowns. And then it tries to go up. So just be watchful of that. And I don't, I see a bearish Harami pattern, which is setting up, which is like an inside day on the negative side. Last candle is green and this candle is red. Again, we have seen 400-point move. Now, I really need to have this 5505 hold. If it doesn't, it's going to make an evening star. So be careful of that. NQ. NQ has done much better compared to ES, because NQ got Microsoft and Apple doing good. But even after Google's good numbers, NQ did not, like, it should have gone higher, at least 20,185. That's what I expected. It did not. Right now we are above this area and trading around 19,445, like 19,450. For me, right now, this area of 34 EMA, which is 19,300, this is an excellent stop loss area. I will not go short until 19,300 is breached. I will try to be a buyer as much as I can get close to 19,300, maybe 2550 area. I will be a buyer around this season. And I will keep 19,300 as stop loss. And I will try to look and see if I can get 19,900. That is going to be a tough area, but 19,900 is an area of target. So your risk reward is like 0.5% compared to 3% on the positive side. So if you're long, try 19,300 as a stop loss. Now, and again, same thing, what happens if we lose 34 EMA? Same thing, we'll go back and do a back test of 12 EMA. So if we lose 19,300, possibility of 18,900 or 18,714 is right there. Okay. So the same logical concept, since February, this is the first time we have a weekly close where the candle has crossed above 34 EMA. And that's one factor. Second factor is the TDM squeeze is firing positive. Third factor is the volume. Also, you can see that right now, because futures are moving right now, you can see there is a strength in the market. But the momentum, this is the strength. So there is like buyer or seller. But the green is almost close to the red one. So there is some fight going on right now. But tomorrow in the opening, let's see what happens. So again, in simple terms, 19,300 here, 5,505 on ES. These are our stop losses. So if these are our stop losses, we need to be mindful of that. Anything above, we trade long, we stay long. Anything below, we go short. Alrighty, so let's look into some of the stickers. So let's look at Apple. Apple does not have any of the candle patterns, but Apple, I think, will be a company which has no innovation left. And 209 is a resistance area. And again, you just need to be respectful of the price. It's 161.8 Fibonacci area. Okay. So 161.8 Fibonacci. This is resistance. And look where Apple is finding resistance. One time, two time, three time. Again, it's below 34 EMA. Now, one thing you need to understand in terms of relativity. NQ was above 34 EMA. Apple is almost equal to 34 EMA. So if something has to break down, this will lead forward to 202. This will drag Nasdaq. And that's where Nasdaq will breach 19,300. So Apple is one of your main factors this week, which may drag. Again, from an Apple perspective, I don't see Apple is going to do anything magical to increase their sales. They have done so much of hoo-ha around their Apple car, about their Apple glasses, but it's not happening. Apple is losing. And I'm very, very candid here. I will not be surprised if we go back and see 160s very soon on Apple. Second thing you saw on ES and NQ, we had two or three different candles on the TTM squeeze and they were strong. And net value of Nasdaq was 30 and ES around 29. But here it is 22. So it is relatively weaker than both NQ and ES. So if market starts to get weak, Apple will be the first one to weak. So you need to be careful and make up your mind that when you're trying to short something, you need to choose stocks which are weak. So Apple is one of those stocks which are absolutely weak. And it may become, I would say, the prime selling opportunity if we start to go down. Again, I don't want to spend so much time because we have only limited time. Uh, then let's go to Adobe. I picked up Adobe Friday. I have a call of 370. I think somebody asked me about Adobe in the group and I said it's looking good. So Adobe, uh, like after a long time, it has reclaimed the 12 EMA. It's trying to make a base. And if you see, this was the base. It's a flag where lows are getting higher. So it was a flag breakout, which is really positive. So in this case, 360 is your stop loss. If we can clear 376, I think we are going to hit into the gap, which is around 400, 410. So 376 is your big resistance zone and 360 is your stop loss for Adobe. I'm bullish on Adobe at this moment. Amazon. Amazon is the in terms of relativity. NQ, we saw three candle. Apple, we had one blue candle. NQ above 34 EMA. Amazon is not above 34 EMA. Okay, so which is a little sense of weakness. Now, unless we clear 193 on Amazon, I have my doubts on Amazon. It may look really good in terms of buying, but we need to reclaim something strong like this green line, which is an extremely positive line for Amazon. It has to be reclaimed. That comes around 192, 193. If it does, we will have legs to 223. If it doesn't, we are going further down. As of now, I do not get any confirmation from anywhere. So Amazon, I really want 193 or I will be a buyer around 181, not in this place. Amazon has earnings this week, but before that, you will see earnings from Microsoft. So I think cloud will have some good factor in play. AMD, AMD, I think, as I have said previously, that the data center demand and the cloud demand is still higher as compared to the AI demand. So Nvidia has fizzled out and may not go up to those highs in next few months or years. But AMD, because AMD is a data center and PC specific company. It may have some more strength. So any dip into AMD around 92, 93, I think is a buying opportunity. And and you can clearly see since October, right? There were multiple attempts to clear and get above this. It tried once, failed, went down. This is a second attempt, a solid second attempt, because we had dodgies right there. So anytime we come to 92, I think AMD is a very good opportunity to add. And we have legs until 117, 118 if we can clear 92, 93. Right now it's 95. I'm not positive at this point. I wanted to come to 92, test the 12 EMA one more time. And then like it's like if you have springs, right? You springs, you push them down, they get tight, compressed, and then they recoil and then they jump. So we have a good 6 months of downward momentum setting up right there. Now finally it's getting higher. And if you want to see a very simple way, you can clearly create a channel right there. Price is in this channel. It went up, come down, went up, come down, went up, come down, went up, come down, went up. Now here, if it is breaking out, it is a good opportunity, right? So it's a falling channel breakout. It's a very high potential for AMD. But again, I wanted to around 92, not here. Then we have BA. BA first thing, like in all the ES and NQ, this is the one stock where 12 EMA has clearly taken over the 34 EMA. First positive. Second positive is all green. Third positive, fundamentally, BA has no impact from China at this point. What we need is a close or open above 180 and sustain above 180. If it does that, it's good. Otherwise, we may have a back test of 12 EMA, and that will be a wonderful point. Like 160 is 165. It will be really, really good, extremely good opportunity to add BA because then it will make inverted head and shoulders. And I have said multiple times, BA will run in Republican regime. So this is the 12 EMA. So maybe around 170, if you get an opportunity, I think Thursday or Friday, I told everybody I'm going all in on BA and it was 172. From 172, it hit almost 180. Same thing again. Let it come to 172, buy it. And that's where you scale in. Because that buying is really, really solid. Let's look at Caterpillar. So Caterpillar is setting up, it has earnings. Again, it's bad with the spreads on the earnings. So if you want to take like calendar spreads, that will be a much better trade or butterfly for Caterpillar. It's good around 300 and I think it's a good opportunity around 300. If China is getting better, Caterpillar will definitely uh, get better from it. So guidance wise, I think it should give you good guidance, similar to PA. CrowdStrike, this is something which I have recommended since it was 320s and now it's like 420. So you can clearly see it's a W breakout. It's a breakout. Anytime you see a pullback to 410, 420, buy it. It has resistance to 442, has three white soldiers, like three back-to-back candles where open and low were same, which is really positive. So all in all, it's good. Any dip in CrowdStrike, you need to be a buyer. 406 is your stop loss. Then let's look at DoorDash. DoorDash, since the inclusion in S&P, has not moved much. It is in the same range. And when something is in the same range, uh, the next piece, what happens is a consolidation and a breakout. So in this case, uh, if you see on a larger, and let me just include the higher, maybe 5, it's 5 year already. See, right there. This was the top and this was this. So this is a flag. You can see it a flag breakout. So again, we need to be positive around 183 on toe dash. Not here, but around 183. If I get an opportunity, I will add around 183, not at this point. Google, I added around 150 last week and we went through it. Google has to clear 163, otherwise it will come down to 159, 155. I think it has to find support around 159. If it does not, then I would say Google is the weakest of all links, so avoid trading Google. 159 is your stop loss if you want to try long. But again, this will be my low priority trade as compared to anything else. AMD is my good priority, BA is my good priority, CAT is my good priority. Meta. Meta, the only thing which I have, like, if you know me, is dodgies. When you have dodgies, I don't like it. So let it come back a little, maybe to 527, 520, or somehow if we can get to 508 where we have this gap. If we can fill this, I think it will have some serious legs. Because dodgy is followed by changes always. Like dodgy here, we went down. Dodgy here, we went up. Now dodgy here again, I have doubt it will say. And every time dodgy is there, there is a reaction on meta. It changes the direction. So I'll be real careful with meta 527, 528. If it comes, I'll be definitely a buyer on meta. But all in all, I'm looking that meta should hold 528. If it clears 558, 557, I think it has legs for further. But again, exactly same thing could happen with Meta, what happened with Google. So we need to play for the earnings, but we may not play the actual earnings. So check on that. I will check all these. Sujit, I already covered. Zscaler I will do, Tesla I will do, UNH I will do, Humana I will do. Uh, Spotify I did that on. Mm, they are concerned, but they will not get the loss of revenue. I will come, guys, one by one. Wait, wait. So let's look at first alphabetical order, because I do not want to lose track. So Humana is there. Humana and UNH. Like they like you can clearly see it's in a very good trading range. And one thing you need to be watchful that every time it comes around 250, it's a good buy. But what is happening? This one is the highest, came down. Then this is like H1, which is the highest. H2 is less. Then we have H3 and it's coming down. So what we need is we need a breakout from this, which may happen during this earnings. It may, like, usually this is a bearish pattern and you simply fall from it. So breakdown is very much possible on this side, similar to UNH. So 246 is your stop loss Gaurav, if you're looking for mana. Then UNH is similar, so I'll cover UNH. UNH has found base, like you see all the way from this, we had the dodgy right before the earnings. Again, that's why I always say keep an eye on dodgies. Dodgy was right there, and we were coming from bottom to the top, dodgy there, and right now we have, yeah, 411, which is the 23.8, 23.6 Fibonacci. Now here at around this, I may not take a short on UNH, but I may not even go higher. I want 428 to clear it, and then I will decide about it, but not as of now. But if Humana's numbers are bad, UNH will tumble down more. So be careful on Humana and this one. Let me cover the Tesla because everybody is watching for Tesla. So Tesla has a breakout. This was one of the tickers which had a breakout, had a volume, 2 days back to back good volume. It needs to clean 291. 291, if it clears, I would have legs for 307. But if you are not, then you need to be a buyer at 273, 274, not at this place. It's in middle, 282, 283. So either let it come down to 278, 279, and then you buy it, or you try to short this at 280s, 290s, and keep a stop loss of 291. Then you can do it, or play above 291. If it can go above 291, yes, you will have legs. All right, that's about Tesla. So 291 is really, really important for Tesla. It has failed multiple times around 291. So 291 needs to clear up. Then I'll go to Microsoft. Microsoft, I think, has, as I said, this has more legs. Microsoft is setting up a perfect W for me. And now it needs to clear this 396 area. If it does, 396, 97, if it does, boom, 410, 418. 418 is something I'm really interested in, earnings for Microsoft. This time Apple will fall and Microsoft will rule. Then we have Netflix. Netflix, as I said last time, we need to little careful around it. It was a W, went up higher. It has done everything. Now let it come down. It will come down for sure because 1050 is a good area. Uh, so I will be careful not to go long on Netflix at this price. Just be careful. Then hot favorite Nvidia. I never liked this company, but Nvidia needs to clear 115. Otherwise, it will fall down to 106. 106 is a good area to add if you want to, but it needs to clear 115 for any positive momentum. Right now, it does not have any earnings, but uh, if market is not strong, it's going to get weak. Nvidia. So 106 is your stop loss, or add around that area, I would say 106, 107, and look for 115. If it clears 115, it will go to 132. Another one which I'm really interested in is Palantir. Palantir, I think, has much more legs. Uh, Even if the market is down, it is hardly down. So again, it's a very good setup. I think it will easily clear. Like, let me add some more Fibonacci levels to it because it's gone for now. So let me just cancel the extensions. So I will just show you how to make extensions. So why and when I would make extensions, when I'm thinking that from one point, this was the point, right? Where I tested. I went all the way higher, all the way to top. Come on. I will come down. So this is the places where I think it can go further. And let's test if our numbers are correct. So you click on edit properties, you check what is the top 125.41, fix it. Again, it is not necessary, but the lows is, this one is looking at the candle 66.12, and then the dodgy wall, this was the low was 4103. Okay, so my levels are on, I'm using everything fine. Click OK. So now let's look at these Fibonacci numbers. So let's see, around 23%, we found some resistance. So we had dodges and dodges. Then at 38%, we found there is resistance at 98. We tested, we came back 12 EMA, 13, 40 EMA tested and bounced. Once we cleared, we're looking at 61. So I think Palantir, if you can find it around 108, 109 or any dip, I think it will go to 132. It has good uh, legs or strength around that area. So Palantir, I'm expecting it to go at least 132. 108 is my stop loss. Then Costco. Costco is like too much consolidation. It's not a trade for now. It's like it's not giving me anything positive. Like everything is telling me to wait, avoid this. It's struggling at 995 multiple times. It's kind of setting up a very clean head and shoulder pattern. So you can clearly see. And maybe it may fall around 190 and then we can have massive go down. So I really don't like Costco. This is head one, shoulder one, head and shoulder two. So a rejection from here, either it clears 995, then I will have some confidence. Otherwise, it's a failure. Roku is, I think Roku can gain from Netflix moves. It found a bottom around 60 is not here. Like Roku, Roblox are good to add, but there's too much risk involved with them. Like on earnings, they can fall up to 30-40%. So if you are uh, like that kind of person that can take that kind of risk, then go ahead. Otherwise, I'll wait for Roku to come down to 60 to add. And somebody did ask about Zscaler. Zscaler is my one of the best stocks, similar to Crowd. I think it has 227 and maybe 248 written all over it. It is getting ready. And I've mentioned this like so many times when like PanW, Zscaler, CrowdStrike, Palantir, Hood, they will run. Every news cycle industry finds a new theme and it runs. So if you do not understand that, and if you keep on hanging on to the old themes, you will not make money. So keep an eye on that. Hymns, somebody told me about hymns. I don't see anything in hymns, anything at all. It negative right now. There's nothing right there. There's no strength in the stock. Like if I look at this candle, there's hardly any strength. It is not showing any signs whatsoever. And again, if you want to take a bet, you can take a bet. I don't see anything on hymns. Like if something is talked about on FinTwit, you need to understand what they are talking about and what is actual in relevance. So net is one. This looks good. Has taken over 116, can go to 127. 127 is an area of resistance for net. So keep an eye on that. 127. Food was good at 30. Now it is at 50. It is inverted head and shoulders, but a dodgy. So any dip, I will be a buyer on hood. It is inverted head and shoulders very clearly. It's trying to break out. Either it breaks above 50, go all in, or let it come down to 43. Gold, gold I've been recommending short for a few things. So this is GC, which is gold futures. And this is the logic I've told. It's below 30, below the 12 EMA. It was telling me to exit longs, exit longs, exit longs. So I did. It needs to break down. It will come down to 31, 39, which is the 34 EMA as well as the Fibonacci area. Now, again, guys, you need to ask questions when you're planning to have a position, not when you already have a position. Nike, as I said, fundamentally, it should find some significant strength from China and Vietnam. So I think it should hold and go towards 60s and fill the gap around 70s. So I think Nike, Starbucks, and Caterpillar, all three have legs. Anyone else? Last one ticker, which I need to pick up. So not let me just go back and show you the gold trade. So this is gold futures. So I usually use 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle, 30 around. This was the doji, which gave me a confirmation that yes, something is wrong. 337. So next candle, when it from top to bottom it came up, I went short around 337, and then I held until I cleared my this area. Now I want to short it again if it comes around 32.98. That's on the intraday basis. On the daily basis, this is an area where 3292, which is the 12 EMA. If we have a move below this, we are looking forward for 3139, which is the 12 EMA, 34 EMA as well. ARM, FSLR, I do not trade. Affirm is much better. Affirm is much better. Lily, I have mentioned that's a good trade. Lily, I mentioned everybody in TTL tenant group as well. That yes, it's a master. Just buy this, and you will love me. That day, like I've been telling this in Telegram around 8:50s, 8:30s. Buy Lily, buy Lily, buy Lily. Just buy this shit. You will just love me for it. It's gonna cross 1,000 very soon. VST, I do not trade, man. So I have no idea about VST. Again, you need to understand, you need to pick up tickers which are easy to trade, not because somebody has said that or there is a flow. You need to understand the logic. If you do, only then you'll be able to meaningfully make money out of it. If you're already in a position because you did not thought about it at that time, then it's better to get rid of that position and start from something new. I do not know about any ETF which uses Lily. I have no idea on that. I trade Lily on, like I gave Lily around 870s in TNet and around 850s in my Telegram, so I have no idea about any ETFs. It will give a pullback, enter on that. 860s, I doubt. Maybe 875 if you get a pullback, add. I do not trade those, Shane. So it's better to add around 875. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in tonight. I think I've shared what I wanted to. Hopefully, it will give you some insight about the levels tomorrow. And then I'll share my thoughts in the morning. All right. Thank you for joining in, guys. Bye bye. Good night.